Hello everybody, this is Martin Kroll, usually just Kroll, and this is the intro video to Rebbl League Silkeborg, winter of 2023, season 1, and the season is actually 2 seasons because each team gets to play all the other teams twice, and the first round they go through is uh, is what we call season 1, and then it's season 2 where they play each other again. We have a league consisting of 12 teams, including an AI team, a Khemri team, which is pretty beaten up already. And this is an intro where I will just introduce the various teams and the coaches, and then there will be a separate video each week with a game of the week where I will try to comment as best as I can on the game and the plays and maybe my thoughts about it. Try to be as constructive as possible. Um, so yeah, this intro is actually being made when we have day 8 of the first season. So we're already into the season. I had to get OBS working, and it's been basically 3 years since I looked at it since last. So I'm doing this in English to practice, basically because if this is fun, then I could try to do it in some of the leagues where the language is English, for instance ICBBL or Rebbl, or IR if I feel like it. I probably won't be doing introductions in those, but I could stream and store my own games just so I can learn from them. But back to Silkeborg. First, we have the Spanish exposition. Uh, that's by Mechanic Mike. I think Mechanic Mike is Anders, if memory serves. And it's it's Bretonians, and Bretonians are a bit shit, but they can also be developed into something that's actually pretty fun. And he has he's played 8 games, seven to 8 games, and he's actually managed to roll some really nice stat ups on the blitzers. We've got a strength blitzer who's hopefully only MNG. Yeah, he's MNG. So no perms. We have an agi blitzer and we have a move blitzer. And once all these blitzers get dodge, they start to get fun. Um, that's probably that's a nickel blocker and an agi bust uh, line shitter with guard. So usually we would probably, well, actually agi doesn't really mind that much on the lineman, but because he's guard, he's useful, and he's a keeper. He's got one guard on one of the blockers. This one with the nickel, I'd probably fire him. He has enough bank to replace this one. I'd probably do that before he steals an MVP or something like that. But the core of this team is the blitzers, and the blitzers are actually looking really well after they roll some stat ups. We have a ball carrier here with sure hands. I I would probably have made either the move or the agi blitzer, the ball carrier. So but it could be that this skill was taken before he rolled those. So in that light, it could be all right. So so sound team. Maybe this one could get catch, and this could be the thrower and or carrier, and this could be the receiver for quick 2 or 3 turns. And if this guy could roll a double and get mighty blow and then tackle, then that would be perfect. Maybe if you're into the surfing thing, then frenzy here, a strength 4 frenzy that can push players off the pitch without assists. That's always good and fun. Can also get him into a lot of trouble, but it's fun. So it's looking all right for the Petronians. Good team, fun team to play once they get developed. Then we have the phony elves part two. This is the copy. This is Morten. Morten is very fond of Amazons, and Morten's Amazons always die horribly. And if I'm not mistaken, this is no exception. Uh, he has 10 players. He's already sustained some casualties. He has Alma 2, and Alma 2 is really, really good with a strength up and mighty blow. Um, Alma 2 is also move busted, and if it wasn't for the strength up, then Alma 2 would probably be Alma 3. But but you don't throw away strength because of a move bust. You just suck it up and play on with them. Next skill for this one is of course probably tackle and then piling on. He has a good ball carrier here in Emma 2 with the Agi up. Um, and Freya too with stand firm blodge guard, which is always a very very strong combination. Having played 8 games, he really needs development. He needs to get these girls to blodge, so they need block or wrestle, um, and he needs more guard. If either he needs to develop this into an elf-like team and focus on passing plays, then you take probably take sure hands here anyway, but or catch or throw or and try to make this into a passing game, or he develops them into combat sons, and then he really needs to roll some doubles on the lion woman to get them to guard, and he needs more guard and he needs more mighty blow. Basically, he just needs development. I'm not sure about the 4 rerolls because all of these have built-in rerolls on dodges. So I think 4 rerolls is probably it's more than I would take. I would keep it to 3. Sometimes if this was a CCL format, I could even consider going 2 and making one of these leader if that was an option. But it's Sons that they're incredibly TV efficient. He's at 1170 even with the 4 rerolls and the Napo and 2 startups. So he can probably afford it, but it is a bit bloaty. So I would probably advise Morten to drop one of these, but it's Morten. Morten he always plays very conservative, sometimes too conservative. Um, then we have the Necro team, uh, Dread Moon Pack, led by Lord Bingo, which is Jesper, I think, 1400, because Necro are always expensive as shit. Um, He has the 3 rerolls. He has 13 players. Um, Shit zombies, but zombies are the best linemen in the game, in my opinion. They're 40. They're cheap as fuck. They they they're good foulers. Maybe you could argue whether the zombie is the best lineman in the game or the orc lineman is the best, because with the orc lineman you get armor 9 and they're only 10 more. They're 50. But really strong. I prefer on undead teams and acrobatic teams to just stock up on dirty player and just foul the shit out of everything that's worth something on the opponent's team. But Jesper is going for the control zombies here with block. And then we see this, and control just goes out the window, because who the hell goes mighty blow first on the flesh columns instead of block? Jesper, you fucking banger. Um, this is banging as shit. This needed to be block, but okay, you want fast development on them, and I can follow that. But I still think I would have taken block. We have a rookie move busted golem. I I think I would cycle this. I you still have time to develop a flash golem and to block and maybe one skill more, which could probably be guard. I think I would cycle this because this is bad. 3 movement is bad. The whites have gone guard first. which is also sensible, is probably the right choice instead of Mighty Blow. So again, control, except for this guy up here. What the fuck is this, Morten? Oh, sorry, Jesper. This is just, this is control, this is control, this is just bangy as shit. And you have block on the wolves, so that's great. And you have two ghouls that you need to develop. I think this is going all right. This I would probably cycle, but there's 12 to 14 games left before it's playoffs, so you could defend keeping it anyway. And then we have Lars, who's playing Gonorrhea or Glory, which is rats. Fucking rats. And I really wanted to kill those gutters when I played this team, but I failed to do so. He has an Apo, 3 rerolls. He has a really nice Storm Vermin with an Agi up and Tackle. With the Agi up, Tackle is probably the right choice. I don't know what he's taking after that because this is not the killer. He had a development Storm Vermin killer, but he died. He dodged himself into straight death, so good rat there. He's got a rookie rat ogre that needs a cast more to level. He's got a rookie lineman with block, a claw lineman, which is probably just because he felt he needed some claw. He'll need to roll a double to get mighty blow, so I'm for the bash teams I wouldn't be too worried about this, but it would be high on my list of kill items if I played this team. Just below these four, this one and this one, so I wouldn't be too worried, but here are the stars, and particularly this one and this one and this one has rolled a strength up and a double to get horns, and that's just no, it doesn't need doubles for yeah, it needs doubles for mutations. This one is just Mugna Morten is just fucking disgusting. Everyone in this league should be focused on killing this dude and killing this dude. Well, basically all of them, but these two in particular. If we had a league with a bounty system, I would be putting bounties on these just to make sure they died. Lars is a good rat coach. He takes way too many risks, but that's very good when you're rats because usually they can pull it off because rat nonsense. So yeah, he'll probably do good with this team, unless sometimes rats implode. We can hope they do so here. Then we have Need for Speed Wood Elves. It's Johansson. This is Michael. He's playing Wood Elves for the first time, I believe, and he's doing all right. He's got an Apo, 3 rerolls. Wood Elves are expensive. The positionals are expensive, but they also come with a lot of built-in skills at the beginning. And he's got 2 catches with block, 1 with the sidestep as well. And here we look at the stars. He's got 2 war dancers that is rolled doubled, so he has 2 mighty blow war dancers. I'm not sure I would have taken mighty blow on when I rolled the second double. I think that was this one. I think with the strip I would probably have taken maybe Juggernaut instead, maybe Frenzy instead, because you're blitzing once around. You really don't, and you're probably you don't want to be in contact, so you're not taking that many blocks. So you probably only need 1 mighty blow to blitz with mighty blow each round. So I think this needed to be probably either tackle, just ignore the double, or to be probably Juggernaut Jugs. But it's the first time he's playing Wood Elves. Maybe he wanted to make sure that he had a Mighty Blow War Dancer in case one of them died. So these are Bangy Elves. He's got some good development. He's got 3 men with dodge. one with kick that's also move busted, but he has one job, that's to kick the ball, probably usually deep, and hope that the opponent didn't set up right for playing elves. So this is okay. I think he's on his way to building something good here, unless some of the other teams can manage to kill some of these. Probably these two. There's a golden rule that says if a war dance is on the floor, then you foul it, and that's really that shouldn't even be a golden rule. That should be just be fucking written into regulations, especially these two guys. So good team, and I think he's developing all right. And next one up, we have the Orcs, 1400 Orcs, Green United, coached by Lysgaard, which is also Anders. So we have two Anderses, the Bretonian Anders and the Orc Anders. 3 rerolls, 1 Apo, 13 players. The Troll build. Troll is one SPP from getting its level, and anyone who's played orcs with trolls know that once they get guard, they basically double in value, because the best way to use a troll is not by using it to punch stuff. The best way is just to be a strength 5 guard platform. So you take the troll, hope it doesn't roll a 1, and you just put it in the middle of everything, standing there being strength 5 guard. But until it gets guard, it's not worth the 110. It's fucking ridiculously bad. But once it gets guard and it's 130, it's really worth it. It's perfect against bash teams. So he's on the road and needs 1 star player point to get there. He's got a thrower, Mr. Throw. I'm personally, I actually, I do two orc builds when I play orcs. There's either the build with Mr. Throw, and in that case it's guard, it's accurate, it's block, and it's accurate. So I agree with this build. Of course, if he rolls a double, then it's dodge, and if he rolls movement, then it's perfect, because Mr. Throw is just ridiculously slow. He's just that movement 5 just hurts so much. And the movement 5 is actually the reason why I sometimes prefer a build where I take a blitzer and make it the ball carrier. I actually think that with this guy, the Agi 4 dodge blitzer, I would personally really consider, when this one hits 31, to give it sure hands and just fire Mr. Throw, because this is such a better carrier. So you can save the SPP that you have. This goes away if you make this the carrier, because then this is redundant, and you have both a player that you can use on defense, because he's really good on defense, especially if he gets tackle after as his 5th skill at 51, and you also have a ball carrier. I know Mr. Throw has also pass, and you're not giving this guy pass. But let's be honest, your orcs, you're not going to be passing the ball a lot unless you're playing orcs in a way that you really shouldn't do. So I'd probably fire him, because this dude is just amazing. But there are various opinions on Mr. Throw, and Anders is obviously one of those who likes Mr. Throw. Um, there's another blitzer also with dodge. He's done he's given them dodge, 2 of them, which is really good for long-term development. I think if one of these guys rolls dodge as well, you could consider not doing it any further, because you need your blitzers to also have guard and mighty blow, because you're orcs and you need to beat up shit. Um, and this is really guard light. This is 8 game orcs and you have 1 guard. And after 8 games with orcs, you should really have 3, maybe even 4 guard. The Black Orcs, 2 well developed, two rookies. Black Orcs get a lot more reliable once they get block, so I agree with the block choice. Some players go guard first on the Black Orcs, and some go mighty blow first on the Black Orcs, for faster player development. I personally think guard is or block is the right choice. Maybe one could go guard first, because you're guard light on the blitzers. You could consider that. But otherwise, good team, nice development. And as I said, the troll will be significantly more impactful once it gets guard. Then we have the high elves, the højrøde hængerøve, the high-arsed hanging asses. roughly translated. Coached by Ursus Rex, which is Mikkel. Um, they're a little bit banged up at the moment, and they've also been banged up a lot in terms of blitzers because they've had to Mikkel has had to cycle both blitzers because they died, which is a little bit it's rough for high elves when the blitzers die. Um, but on the other hand, Mikkel can comfort himself knowing that he has this guy, and this guy is just obnoxious. I think when I played Mikkel, this guy basically won the game for him. Um, um, he's 3 SPP away from leveling and getting block, and then he'll be also reliable as a sacker. There's this guy as well, a player that also needs some development. Is he MNG or is he nickeled? He's MNG. So I guess this as many elf teams is a team where you have a lot of project players. This is a project player. You need to get this to dodge block or dodge wrestle. You need to get that to get that dodge. You need to save up to buy another one to get that dodge as well, so you have blodgers. So there's a lot of players that need development here, but I would definitely prioritize getting the 3 SPP here and then probably turning my attention to this guy, getting this guy to 16 to get dodge, and then the blitzers. Basically, just more else with blodge is just crucial. Once they have that, you can start to think creative and think strip ball, think tackle, think everything else. But you need dodge because otherwise this is just unreliable. So rough start with the blitzers, but he has some pieces that could become really good, including in particular Chef Ramsey here. Then we have the dwarves. My team. It's not about the size. And what can I say? It's dwarves. Um, two runners, two blitzers, a slayer, and longbeards. Once they've matured more, maybe I add a second slayer, but I don't. Slayers die. I think I'm keeping one slayer. Everyone else is going guard on the longbeards except this guy. This is the killer. He needs to go either. Next one is probably Juggernaut, probably, or it could be just guard. Maybe it's actually just guard because it's dwarves. You just need more guard, guard. That's basically the ticket. I'm debating with myself whether or not the second skill for all these longbeards after guard is mighty blow or if it's stand firm, because stand firm has a tendency to be to become even more strong after you have more of them. So one stand firm doesn't really do that much. It's useful, but it doesn't do that much. But 5 stand firms and you have a team that's really fucking obnoxious. But of course, 5 mighty blow and you have a team along with these guys. Then you have 7 mighty blow. Then you have a banger dwarf team that can basically just bang out everyone, and that's also pretty strong. I'm probably going banger and just seeing if I can get some of them to 31, then it's guard mighty blow stand firm. Otherwise it's guard mighty blow. I think this one is guard unless he rolls double, then it's dodge. The leader is MNG. So yeah, it's dwarfs. I need to put points on these guys and also this one. This one was actually a 7 SPP Longbeard with guard that on turn 15 were hit by a rock from the crowd and died. Just rock into 666 instant death. And by that time I had also already spent the Apo, which failed, on trying to save this from an MNG because I felt I needed him for the next game because he's the leader. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have spent the Yapo on this guy because he failed, but also because I can live without this one, and that could potentially have saved me a guard. But it's Blood Bowl. Um, you live and you learn. Then we have the Chorfs, led by the Lords of the Dark Side, led by Skvet. Uh, and they've had a rough start for Chorfs because this is 8 game Chorfs, and they have two bulls, of course, with block, which is nice. They have an agi up bull, which is probably the ball carrier. But now look at this, and this is fairly new, I think. He's recently rolled agility on a hobgoblin, and that means that I would very highly consider making this hobgoblin the ball carrier, going sure hands next, and then block, and then using this bull centaur offensively. Because the problem with making one of the bulls your ball carrier is that then he's not on the front line. Then he's standing in a cage and not exercising his strength 4 and his de facto sometimes movement 9, because they have sprint and sure feet. I know the 3 extra movement. Believe me, it's not free movement. I can't. Every time I play Chorfs, I double I snake movement with these guys, and they usually just end up dead by that way. But so you have to be careful around that, and only do the extra movement when you really need it. But I would consider making the Hobgoblin the carrier, because you need this guy up front because of its strength advantage, and you really need it on this team because your blockers are underdeveloped. He has the 6 blockers, but one of them is armor bust, and he probably needs to cycle that because these need to be able to take punches, and if it's armor 8, then that's a problem. Is this only MNG or is this nickeled? Shit, it's nickeled. Uh, that's rough, because then that means that it's 2 chorfs he actually needs to cycle, and he needs to get these chorfs to guard soon because he needs the strength. Uh, so this team has had a rough start. That the blockers have one armor bust, one nickeled. This is probably, I think, one of them also died. So Squad, you really need to focus on trying to level these blockers to get guard, and probably on this guy. I think the bulls are all right. If you can roll a double on this one to get it to dodge, then it's perfect. Otherwise, I think I'd go break tackle, and after that tackle maybe, um, depending on how you want to utilize them as either ball sackers, or if you want to use them as part of the defense, then give them guard. Or if you want someone to blitz with all the time, then give one of them mighty blow. But strongly consider break tackle. My experience with Chorfs is that the bulls become much more versatile, and you can use them more creatively, and also defensively much stronger once you give them break tackle, because that means that they can't be tagged by other players. So if an opponent is, for instance, doing a potato run down a flank, and he just tags up all your players, then if you have break tackle on these, you have players that can actually move 9 squares that can dodge away on a 2, and that's really strong, particularly defensively. But also, if you get the ball on this guy, if it has break tackle, all of a sudden it dodges on a 2 instead of a 3. So consider that. Then we have the Kislev, which are led by Dromo, which is Michael. Um, and what can I say? Kislev are just. I played Kislev last season. I actually won with Kislev, but oh oh my God, it was rough getting them to a place where they actually were useful. it took basically all season. I only think that they peaked at the playoffs because by that time I had managed to keep some of them alive to actually be have really good skills, and I managed to roll agility on one of the blitzers, which means that he could leap in on a 2+, and I he also had tackle and dodge, and that made him really really good. So if you can get agility on any or strength on any of these blitzers, then perfect, because you need them to be able to jump into cages and sack the ball. Um, I like block on the catcher. I would probably go dodge first because they're just more reliable for dodging with dodge. On the lineman, I can understand block. I would probably go wrestle on the lineman because you don't want to be standing fighting. You don't want to create space, and you want linemen that can actually also sack the ball on a 3+ leap. And they're much better at doing that once they have wrestle instead of block. So I would probably start considering going wrestle on linemen instead of block. Um, one apple, four rerolls. Four rerolls is really needed when you're Kislev. You could even consider, if you ever get the money for it, to go up to five rerolls. It's expensive, but but you really need the rerolls as Kislev because you're rolling a ton of dice each turn. Um, so, but I think there are the positionals, and you have strong development on most of them, so that's good. So I think this is coming along. The trick here is to keep these guys alive, and that's really hard when you're Kislev because you're rolling a million dice and you're only armor 8 and armor 7, and you're taking punches left and right. So uh, then we have the humans, the Greek pantheon, led by Molkovian, which is Benjamin, and these humans are a little banged up. They had some deaths as well, but belong among those remaining. We have Mr. Throw, which is move bust, which is not good for a thrower, and we have a blitzer, which is also move bust. We have no bank because people have died, and we have no ogre. And I think the major problem here is just player death and permanent injuries. I don't know Benjamin tends to have players die a lot. He played Underworld last season, and Underworld just dies. So maybe we should take that into account as well. But maybe Benjamin, maybe you base a little bit too much because you're taking on a lot of attrition, and you're human, so these aren't orcs that can just take a punch. These will break eventually, and they have done so. So I think I would focus in the next couple of games. I would focus on player development, getting built up a bank, and probably recycling this one and saving up for an ogre. Um, and at the fourth blitzer, you only have three blitzers, right? Yeah, three blitzers. So buying the fourth blitzer, buying the ogre, recycling this, maybe also recycling this, but I know he has accurate already, and you have some work to do here. Um, so so yeah, there are some good things here. You have the guard blitzer, you have the mighty blow blitzer, the blodge catcher. So there is something going here, but you really need to develop blitzers, and you need to buy an ogre at some point because you'll need the ogre and the guard for the bash games. Um, and you need to recycle this one. And the reason I'm saying that you really strongly need to recycle this one is because the main force of humans compared to elves and bash teams are that they're fast. They're actually one of the. They're not wood elves, but they're one of the fastest teams in the game because you have blitzers that have move 7, and you have 4 of them, and you have catchers which are move 8, and the rest are move 6, except the ogre, which is move 5. So you're pretty fast, and you need to exploit that and build into that. And having a move bust blitzer and a move bust thrower just is counterproductive to that force. Um, right now, it's as if you're trying to have a little bit of everything. And I think if I were you, I would try to say, am I building agility humans, or am I building combat humans? And if you're building combat humans, then you need the ogre, and you need guard, and you need mighty blow, and you need it fast. And you need this to go to pylon instead of tackle, because you need him to develop faster, so you can get him to tackle, and you need damage, and this needs to be your killer. Or if you're going to play, elfy humans, then you need to go dodge on everything that can possibly take dodge, and you need speed, and you need throwing skills and catching skills. So yeah, 4 rerolls for humans, it's all right. I would probably only have 3, but four is all right if you're playing them. If you're going to do passes and stuff, then 4 is probably okay. I would probably fire the coaching assistant and the cheerleaders, because they're bloaty, and you're at 1160 right now. So if you can drop a little bit more, then you probably have a wizard against most teams, and humans and a wizard is also always a good combination. Finally, we have the AI, a Khemri team. What can I say? The AI is fucking stupid. Uh, um, it's got 2 blitzers with no skills. It's got 2 tomb guardians with guard. It's got a skeleton with dauntless. Why not? Um, and it needs to take two skills. Um, it's an AI. When you're lucky to play it, you just need to win, and you need to get star player points on the right players. Um, it's stupid as fuck. The only positive thing I can say about the AI is that it's more intelligent than the AI in Blood Bowl 3, but that's not really saying a lot. Okay, so that was the introduction to the teams. We are at week 8. The leaderboard, you can see here. We have the rats up front with the orcs, which based on race isn't that surprising. The dwarves are at 7. I'm really not happy about that. I took some losses. Um, I haven't played them as good as I should. Um, but I have good development on them after 8 games, so I'm taking comfort in the fact that I have good development, because I can't take comfort in the results, because for dwarves this isn't good enough. Um, the playoff rules in this league is that the top 8 proceed to playoffs. So I just need to make this line. So right now I'm actually qualified. Number 7 plays number 2. So if this was the position just before playoff started, in my first playoff week, I would be playing the Orcs. So basically, you just need to make the first 8. But the lower you get, the higher the opponent you get in your first game. So positions in this table matters, because it'll be defining for your first opponent. Um, but that's basically it. Other than that, you're good if you're just into the top 8. And that also means that you can focus a little bit more on team development than on results in this league, because as long as you make it into here, then you're good, and then you just need to build the best team possible. Um, but of course, if you're here, then you need results in order to qualify. Good. So that's the intro. Later, I will do the game of the week, and I think the game of the week for week 7 will. This is the AI, so that's not a good game, but I think the elf game actually could be a good game. So I think I'll do that. And this is Cruel logging off.